recording? Okay, recording is in progress, so we are being recorded. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a cartoon called a
It
vlog.
probably will. There's
Okay,
nothing new.
nothing new, nothing new. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with our bullet shape here. So I'm gonna draw our nice bullet shape here. Okay. So
Yeah.
let me draw the shape all the way first for you. Okay. Now, real quick, Mick, as you're doing this particular part of the drawing, okay, a word on a word on head shapes, something that I discovered, but not that was new, but I think there's something that you need to know, is when we are drawing the head from, there are two different angles, obviously, that you're going to use in caricature. Most of the time, you're going to use a 3/4 face or you're going to use your forward face, okay? So this, with the forward face, remember, we did the bullet shape, but I want you to know why it works this way, why we have these little indentions here on the face. Because what happens is when your face is going sideways, first of all, you'll notice that it does like this, and at the top of the head, there's a circle that comes around like this. And then there's a neck shape that does like that. So that would be
Mhm.
generally what a 3/4 face would do. So this shape would appear to be very round. Okay. But when you face forward, the dynamic changes. The face now has the bullet shape or whatever shape we were talking about before. And then your face is not, your head is not round up here. What it is, it's a circle with the sides cut off. Okay. And then this is pretty much the skeleton that you're drawing on. So your hair shape would do something like this. You get it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So all of this here becomes hair, but this part is literally your skull. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that. Oh, I
Okay.
knew that.
All right. So I just want you to know that. So while we're going ahead with this picture, so when
Yeah.
you're doing 3/4 faces, we'll have to practice you out on this one because really you haven't
Because
drawn this
the
before.
top of the hair normally comes around and goes down to the ear.
Right. And then it goes like this. So let's say this is then you'll have an ear shape, and then now you can easily form or take your hair and change it and do whatever you want to it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Okay. All right. So we have our bullet shape. So have you already drawn this shape?
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool, cool.
Right,
All right. So
right,
now our
right,
next
right.
shape that we're going to kind of sketch in,
Oh, hang on. I'll do the head.
all right, is we're gonna look for that line, this little indentation here, which we can kind of see it because of his hair, right? Um, excuse me. We're gonna kind of sketch this part in. So watch, see how it gets sketched in, like right here. So we got like a little line right there where the hair comes all the way down like that. So that's the shape that we want right there. All right. Now, this gentleman has a rather large neck shape, right? You can see his neck is like way out. So we don't want to give him a skinny neck. We want a neck on this particular character that's out here, kind of like this.
Yeah, it's pretty wide, isn't it?
Yeah.
Footballer.
Yeah, he's a man's man, right? I don't know. A manly man.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. Take two people to choke him, right? Like, come here.
Yeah, he
Let me
can do
choke
whatever he wants, this bloke.
you. Okay, all right. So now what we want to do, Mick, is we're going to look at our I'm going to go, oh, there it is. I know what happened. Oh, sorry about that. Now we're going to look at the overall shape of the hair. So if I pretended like there was none of I couldn't see anything in the middle, and I'm just looking at the outside of the hair. What I'm trying to do now is I'm making this whole shape look like that. So I'm kind of eyeballing it to kind of look like this. Hold on. Something like
Yep, yep.
this.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then over here. And I'm just staying on the outside of the head. Don't get don't and don't take your eyes off the prize. So I know while you're drawing this, if you have to, this is the shape here that we're looking at on the outside, all the way around the
Yeah.
head, all the way around the shape. Okay. So go ahead and draw that head, that hair shape there.
Yep.
All right, now this is what we're gonna do
He
here. We're
looks
gonna
like a girl at the moment, doesn't he?
yeah, yeah. Then we're gonna kind of extend off of here like this right here. Pencil sharp here.
Okay. All right,
All right.
gotcha.
Now, this is what we want to do here. On this for this drawing, right? We want to go ahead and get our roundness of the eye. We want to get our eye positioning and brow positioning. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just a circle here, right? And a circle here. So now these are his eyeballs, not the eye itself, but the eyeball.
Yep.
Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw the eyebrow kind of in relation to his eyebrow. You see how I just did that right there? But actually, that's a little bit, it's not as mean looking. I better go straight with it like this. Okay. So see how we went right there? We made it nice and eyeball, and then we did like a little rectangle over the top. Now over here, you really can't see the eyebrow, so we want to leave that out on this side.
Yep.
All right, now check this out. What we're going to do is we're going to draw two little circles here inside of that eye shape, just like that.
Yep.
Now, what we want to do here is we want to look for a shape that's going to satisfy that nose shape right there. So what I would do is something like the whole nose itself looks like almost like what am I thinking about that? It looks like something like this. This is what it kind of looks like to me, right? And then the wings of the nose are doing like this. This is like kind of the whole shape. So I don't know what that looks like. Maybe like what does that look like? This
But
shape
hasn't the
right here.
nose got a point on it?
Well, yeah, it does down here, right? So it looks kind of like some kind of
Yeah.
weird, like I can't think of something that would
A
look
grub.
like, but it looks like that. Okay, what I mean? So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the end of the nose first, which is kind of this part here. Okay, so we want to put the end of the nose where we want it first. So we'll do something like this here. Okay, something real simple. Okay, got that? Or you okay? Let me.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
I have.
So now we'll go ahead and we'll just do a little. We'll do our shape that we determined that it was. So remember, it was like a little like this, and then it came in here, and then it went like that.
He is a footballer. He's had his nose broken 3 or 4 times. Hmm.
It might look like it, yeah. Yeah, so that's the shape that we're looking at. Okay.
Hang on. Yeah,
All right. Now, this is what we're gonna do here. We're gonna we're gonna do a smile shape, but one end of your smile is gonna be up a little bit higher. So we're gonna draw a line like this. Actually, that might be a little deeper than I wanted to go. So let's do like let's not make it as deep. Let's go about right here. And then you see how this little part over here, how I made it come up and kind of curve like that.
yeah, I do.
So it looks like almost like a pot handle, maybe.
Yep, I like
Okay,
it.
so that's how we're getting that, So now once we have that, then we'll come over here, right? And we'll put the middle, right? And then we'll go up and in to our pot handle. And then we'll go up and down and kind of out over here. So you'll notice that this side of the mouth is kind of up a little bit higher than that side.
Yep,
All right, good job. All right, now we're going to add a lip on the top. So we're just going to do a little line that does like that. I might have been able to put some more space between here and there, but that's okay.
yep,
All right, and then down here, we're going to do a shape that does like this. So we're going to go down, then kind of up, and then down, and then around like that.
yep.
All right, now let's do some teeth in here. So we're going to do basically a W shape. Or you can think of it as a three, maybe a upside down three, whatever you want to think of it as.
3 having to lie down,
Yeah.
eh? Hmm. Yep,
All right. And then we're going to add another little curve to it here and another little curve right there. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. So a little curve here and a little curve here.
Hang on.
Yep.
What's
Take your
going on
time.
here?
Take your time. Take your time.
I got two videos down at once. I don't know what.
Uh-huh. Okay. No problem. No problem.
I got one coming through the headset,
Mm-hmm.
and this one.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have no idea, but anyway, that can keep going. We're right.
Okay. So now once we do that, we'll add a little bit of the gum line. So right above this line, right above where you did these little things at, we have some little V shapes that kind of go above each one, and they get progressively smaller as they go up the mouth shape. So you shouldn't be able to see this one, for instance, as much as you can see this one. And this one is going to be usually the dominant one, but it's not really that big. You know, none of them should be that big in the first place. As a general rule of thumb, I don't draw lines between my teeth, but if you want to, you can add lines. You know what I mean? I just think it makes it look too busy.
Yeah,
All right, now once we do that, we're going to go here to the eye shape. So we're going to kind of capture this angle. It's a angled line here. You see how his eye kind of angles down. So this is what we're doing is what's the word I'm looking for? We're being a little bit more specific about the eye shape at this point. So even though we can get away with leaving it like this, and it kind of looks like a little cartoon of him anyway, we're going to do something like this. So we're gonna first go underneath the shape, right? And we're gonna do like this, watch. Okay? Just follow me, just go underneath the shape and do like that. So it's almost like we drew like you know what that looks like? Doesn't it look like the Russian flag symbol almost? Like if you
yeah,
it looks like it almost like
does too.
yeah. So that's pretty much what we did there. I almost tried to say something in Russian, but I can't speak Russian, so I would just be
Nah,
at
nah, not no vodka.
yeah, vodka. Oh my God. That's
It's
Russian,
about the
isn't
closest Russian one, huh?
it? All right. Now, this is what we're going to do here. We're going to, once we got those lines, then we'll come here and we're going to do a line that kind of curves upward. So we you see how this one curves like a curve here, and then this one doesn't curve, which is interesting. So this one actually just goes straight around, right? But this one kind of curves upward like that.
What was the shape? Did the leaf shape, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's basically just the leaf shape, but we just did
Yeah,
all. You get what I'm saying? But the reason now with every caricature is going to be different. So yes, it is the tree leaf shape, but sometimes, like with this eye particularly, he has a lot of white space in the eye. So I wanted to be sure that I put enough white space. So that's why I started with this part first, generally, and then you can see down here I left a lot of white space underneath the eye, more than that's even in the picture, because I'm not trying to copy the picture. In fact, I wanted to exaggerate the fact that he had more white space. So he has a little bit of white space here, which translates to a lot of white space in a cartoon. You get what I mean? So like
I do.
literally,
Yes, yes, yes.
literally, I could have, and literally just to humor me for a minute, I could have literally did this to be really funny. Watch. You see how I dropped it way down? It didn't kill the likeness. It just made the eye a little bit more, you know, it just exaggerated that space a little bit more. So that's
Yeah,
really That's up to the artist. There's no right or wrong way for that. That's just however you want to do it. Okay. All right. Now let me see here. We'll just add some looks like he got some earlobes going on here. We need to put in on one side and then put them in on the other side over here. Okay. And let me see. And then we'll add a little circle inside of here. So this is like eyeballs. Okay. Okay, and I got one more little shape here. Okay. Okay. See how it works out right there? So it just kind of just goes around like that. You take that arrow out of there. All right, Mick, do me a favor. Go ahead and log out, log back in so we can make sure, since we spent a little bit of time on that figuring
Yep,
out
I can do
YouTube
that.
thing. So go ahead and do that real quick for me.
Okay, we can do that.
I'll just minimize that till later. Okay. All right. So let me downsize this just a bit. Okay. So this is where we're at. And then we'll just, kind of add a little neck shape here like this. Okay. And he has that like a big Adam's apple shape. So we don't want to draw a line. We want to draw like a shape for that. So normally what I'll do is draw like a Nike sign right there, right? And then I'll kind of shade that Nike sign in so it looks like an Adam's apple. Okay. All right. So we are, did you get that line right there?
Yeah, I
All
did,
right.
I did,
And
I
now
did.
let's go here. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna make two V shapes here. And then we're gonna bring those V shapes and kind of wrap them around the neck like this. Okay, so remember two V's and kind of wrap it around the neck. And it looks like here he has a dimple here beneath there. I'm a stickler for details, so let's put that dimple there. And then a little line over here. All right. Now that we have that part done, now we get to go to the fun part. That's outlining our caricature. Okay. So for that part, you'll need your marker.
But we're gonna go over the marker now.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the whole drawing because you want to also start practicing, your line weight and all that. This is a very flat drawing that, so we're gonna just kind of show you about like using thicker and thinner lines and how you can do that kind of stuff. Make
I
it
actually spent a lot of time doing that.
yeah. Now
A lot of time doing
I
it.
don't have my uh all right. Oh, let me see my son. Okay, this is a pretty good one, I guess. All right, so let's go ahead and get that Crayola out or whatever you're going to be using. And we're going to go ahead and outline it. So we'll start with our head shape first. So we're going to start with the jawline like we did earlier. So we're going to go around. Okay. And I usually like to overlap those lines here a little bit just to make it a little bit more dimensional or live looking.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then from there, we'll go ahead and go to our hair shape. So we're going to go here. 1, 2. Watch how I start, how I go in there. 3, 4.
Yeah.
All righty. Now, let's go here, connect that in. And it looks like from up here, it's kind of going around here and kind of going out like that. So how I see how I just kind of put that little flick right there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, once we have those two shapes, then we'll go to our top shape here. And we'll keep this. This looks rather round. We want to keep this shape simple. So we'll do like this, right? And then we're going to do like this. All right. So look how I twisted that line like almost like a chain link. See around here, and then I twisted it around. So I'm not bound to my sketches, just an overall idea. You're free to make any type of adjustments you want to make once you, so don't try to stay on the line type of thing. This is like think of it like you have a B C D E test, and you could go back and you can see the right answer. You can see the first answer, then you can go back and put the right answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right,
you're right.
now we're gonna go over here. We're gonna kind of curve out. See, like it looks like a little out shape, and then we're gonna come back in like that. Keeping our shapes nice and simple and easy.
Yeah.
All right, then we're gonna go back up here to the top, and we're gonna go around. Okay, and we're gonna go in like this. And because the hair, because of the way he's facing, this is going to take a little bit of a different turn. So it's going to go like this, and then it's going to go like this. And then it's going to go from inside of that line, like it just branched off, and then it goes out and it kind of does its thing, and then it comes back in and connects to our neck shape.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to add the earlobes here and here. And then we're going to add this
Yeah.
little, then we're going to add this little shape here. 1 here. And I think we can leave that line out over there. We really don't need to put that. I don't know, do we? I guess we can. Since, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's go to our next shape. So we're going to go here. How we gonna kind of go down here? Now, note, like if you notice this pattern, even when I'm drawing live, I almost never worry about the inner stuff until I've got this down, mostly for live, but every now and then I'll change it up, you know. So we're gonna do that line, this line, and this line. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and do our brow. We're gonna do our eye shapes here. So remember, we're first off starting with where our eye is gonna go. And then we put our little circle of light in there. And then we put our pupil in the middle. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and erase my pencil line in there so you'll be able to see it clearly. Okay. Just like that. I don't know if you keep a big eraser at home. You might want to keep one just so I have actually I have a bigger eraser here. I like to go back and clean up as I go along.
I got a super duper one.
Oh yeah, super okay. Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that is.
An electric one.
Oh, you got okay. That's great. Oh, okay, get me one of those.
Only because I was making far too much mess.
Mm-hmm. Now let's do this. Let's go ahead and we're gonna this line here on this eyebrow instead of we're gonna bring it kind of straight across more, then angle it, right? So he doesn't look so mean. So we're gonna bring it more like this, and then just kind of draw the two lines like this between there. See how I did that?
Yep.
Okay. And then let's clean it up. So we can just clean up our spot that we were in. Okay. So remember when we start the eye, we started with the pupil first to establish the position, the basic eye and where he's looking and all that good stuff. And then we came back and we personalized it. So now we have the two eyes. Let's go to this top line over here. And we're still going to go with this curve just over the top of the eye. So it kind of curves out a little bit. This one curves down. Okay. I almost never connect all of my lines in the eye because it just makes the eye look too it doesn't give it like the depth, you know, that you want. So you'll just notice as we keep going forward. Now here in his eye, we'll also see there's a lot of white space to the beginning forward part of the eye. So that's a huge reason why when I get to the top of this curve here, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a very light line and I'm just going to kind of go out like this. I'm not going to connect it to anything. I don't need to. And then the same thing over here. I'm just going to come out. Actually, that's far enough. I really don't need to connect that. If I want to, I could just make a little bit of a thin line here, right? But not really bold going into that part right here. And from here, we'll go back over here. And this bottom line, Mick, needs to be a lighter line, much lighter than the line you drew up top. So watch as I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it. Okay. And then I'm going to erase my line out so you can see what happened. So let's erase my original line with a pencil. And then you can see that there's a disparity between the width of this line and the width of that line. Okay.
Gotcha.
That's going to give that eye a little bit more depth. So once we have that, now our next shape is going to be to in relationship to the eyeballs, we want to look for where our nose shape is. So we already defined it. So this is what we can do. We can do something, we can keep it simple, right? And we can just go around the bottom of the nose and keep it very plain. As long as the nose again fills the space as the original nose or the feeling of it, you're good to go. You don't have to do anything really more.
Yep.
Now, once we get to the nose shape, we're going to use a thicker line on one side. Notice we don't have this line on the other side because we don't want those lines to compete with each other. So it's going to be too much going on in the middle of the face, right? So we want this line we want this curve to be like this. Okay, watch. We want the top of the curve. Excuse me. Okay. So you see how thick that line is? I made that line rather thick on this side here. And then I went kind of thin down here. And let me erase my original line again so you can see what's going on there.
Yep.
All right, so remember with the nose shape, remember this was our original shape, which is here, we just did this thick line, right? So on this side of the nose, we want a line that's going to suggest this side, but not completely implicated like this, okay? So we would do something, we could either do it with a shadow or we can just do a line that's so thin. You see what I'm saying? That it just kind of, suggested in there, not a lot. So this is what, again, you want one side of the nose or the other side to be dominating. You don't want both sides to be competing with each other. And think of that as a general rule of thumb for any feature that you're drawing. You want to have the most powerful part of the drawing of that. That's where you want your thicker line. And then you want your thinner line to be where you want less eye attention to be drawn to. Okay. All right. Now, with the mouth shape, what we're going to do is we're going to start with, okay, when we're doing the drawing itself, all right, we want to let's go here and we'll decide, okay, this is the middle of this line here. So we're going to go around, up, over, and we want to get this line in right here.
Yeah, go on.
All right.
There we are.
Good shout. Good show. All right. And then let me move this over here so I can see. All right. Now we're going to go to our bottom shape here. This line will be, these lines will be thinner than this line here. This line will be usually the thicker line. This one will be thinner, and then this line would be really kind of thin as well. So just remember to put most of your line, when you do the mouth, most of your line weight's going to go to the top lips, not the bottom ones.
Yep.
Okay. Now we'll go ahead and we'll add our top lip here. And this top lip doesn't have to be as dominant as and we'll just call this line right here in the middle, this line here that we first drew, we'll call this the guideline kind of for the mouth. And no other line needs to be as powerful as that line traveling through the mouth like that. Once we finish that top line, let's go ahead and let me go ahead and erase my lines here so you can make sure you saw what we did. Okay. And
Yep.
we want to add our T shape. So we'll go with our, remember we had in this particular shape, we had a 3 or a W, or you can think of it as a bird or whatever you want. That's what shape we do first. This line is needs to be kind of medium in stature compared to this line here. Okay. And then the lines that come off of it need to be increasingly lighter as it gets toward the end of the mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then obviously we want to have our gum line to be very light. So let me go ahead and make a real, I'm going to make those lines real light here. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to erase so that you can see how light they actually are. So let me just erase kind of lightly here so it doesn't pull the ink out of the paper again. Yeah. So you should be able to see that pretty well. Okay. So you see how little and insignificant those are?
Yeah.
Okay. And then here, what I'll do is I'll just add my little cleft under the chin, right? And the dimple here and a dimple here. Okay. Now, as far as underneath the eye, we'll see he has a little bit of bagginess underneath there. So you don't want to ever just draw a big line underneath there and make it baggy. So what you want to do is that line underneath the eye is literally just a mirror of this line, but it's lighter. So I might suggest it by adding the end of it and the beginning of it. The beginning of it and the end of it. You see how I suggested it? So it's just like I'm drawing this line above it all over again, but just suggesting parts of it
Yep. Yep.
without connecting it together.
Yeah. Gotcha.
All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of color in my eyebrow shape here. And real quickly, we want to, let me zoom back out here. We'll go ahead and draw this little Nike sign again. I might center it a little bit better this time. And then I'll just kind of fill it in, not real dark, but just, maybe with just some little lines or something to suggest that shape there. And I'm gonna go ahead and erase all my lines. Let me erase up here as well. Get everything all cleaned off. Okay. So this is what we should look like. We can, from this point, add whatever shadows and stuff that we want. We can do it with a quick shadow over So we'll go with our gray if you have one of those. And then we're just gonna put some in the eye. We're gonna go everywhere where there was not a circle, a light circle. So we want to go around it like that.
Yep.
All right. Now this line over here, we basically are just going over the line. So, and whether it goes outside or inside of it, it doesn't matter. We're just going to go over this line and around to create more of a shadow toward this side of the face. You see how I just went over the line from the side? So don't try to color with your pen or with your marker straight like this. Rather, kind of turn it to the side so that that part's resting so that you can draw thicker lines like that.
Yeah.
Okay. When you
Yeah.
when you
Good.
do it,
Good marker for doing that.
yeah.
I also practice going really wide back to thin a
Yes,
lot.
yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now let's do this. We're gonna go over our suggestion line one and over our suggestion line two. Over our suggestion line one, over our suggestion line two.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're gonna go right through here, this top shape. So it gives now, see how this lip is gonna be naturally darker than the bottom lip, so we're just gonna make it dark or grayed in, but not with black, because if you do it with black, it would be too powerful. But sometimes you may have to do that. Sometimes you can get away with it depending on who you're drawing. You can use black, but I like to use that gray.
Yep.
All right, now let's see here. We're
Right.
gonna go here, chin line, and then also underneath the jawline to bring your jawline out a little bit more. Or you see how that kind of brings the face forward a little bit more. All
Yep.
right. Now this line here is just gonna kind of follow the hair underneath, just underneath the line. And it'll be kind of self-explanatory why I did this. Once I put my pencil back, you'll see that the hair now looks like it's over the face and not just there. It looks like it's literally casting a shadow onto the face. Now with hair, make what I'll normally do with hair, you'll see here that you have light, you have shadows of light here. You have a shadow of light here. You can see the shape of it. It looks like one big piece of light.
Yep.
It looks like this. Let me show you. It looks like it's kind of doing like this. Watch. Okay, here. And then it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's kind of doing the same thing as here. So this is all the shadow, right? Okay, can you see it? Okay. And then we have like maybe one here, and then one maybe about right here, and here, and here. So what I do is I look for the lighting in the hair. And when you do your coloring, Okay, I usually do, you can use a crayon or whatever. You look for the pattern of which way the hair is going. So you can see here, the hair is going this way, right? And then it's going this way, and then it's going that way, and then it's going this way, and then it's going out like this. And then this hair is going down, down, and then around, right? Okay. So when I'm coloring, watch my hand. You see how you look at my hand motion? Can you see it? Okay, so watch this. Watch my hand motion. And I'm coloring in the direction of the light line. And then when I get to the bottom, I'm coloring in the direction of that line. You see how it leaves a light, it leaves the light source in the hair. So it looks like we just did that.
So you're just overlapping, but you're going back over it, is that right?
Right. I'm just doing the same thing. It doesn't, you don't have to, don't try to shoot for a perfect hair. Just make the lines. You see the lines underneath that I drew them on purpose so that you know, once you said, okay, the hair is flowing that way. Then all your lines need to flow that way. Now over here, see how the line is flowing straight, but there's light right here. So watch. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm coloring toward the line. I'm stopping where the light source is, and then I'm continuing to color toward the direction of the arrow. Out here, I'm doing the same thing. And then I'm coloring toward the direction of the arrow, but I'm stopping everywhere there's a break in the action. Over here, we'll do it again. Okay. We're going following the pattern all the way to the line, right? And then we're following the pattern all the way to the line, and then we're following the pattern all the way to the line, and then we're following the pattern all the way to the line. So you can see we have light source in the hair. Now, once you've established the light source, if you want to go darker, like I can do something like this, watch. I can go from the top, stay within the same thing, and I don't have to go all the way to the line no more. I just go on the edge of what I already did to make it look darker. You get what I'm saying?
So
Depending
you're
on
still using your grey marker, but you're going over it.
right, exactly. I'm just using, you can do this with gray, but this I'm using I'm just using a regular Crayola crayon.
Yeah.
These are
Is
really good
that's
for
black
doing it.
or grey?
This is a black.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
So
this
you've
is
gone for
black.
black. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
this is just
yes.
a regular black crayon.
Yeah. I
Okay.
didn't know you'd swap back to the black. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So this is just a regular black crayon you can use
Yeah,
to
I know
do
that
this with.
one.
So the best thing to do, especially this is a really good medium to
Right.
use, especially when doing hair, because it respects when you go lighter and when you go darker. If you don't want that shadow or this light to be as dark as light, you can always come back and just go over it real lightly. And you can see how it kind of now evens it where the shadows are not as bold, right? You can just go over
Yeah.
it real quick, right? And you kind of filling in the space. You know what I mean? So pretty much down here, I'll just color this part in, right? And as soon as I get off this video, I'm gonna actually edit this as soon as I'm done to make sure you get it today so that you can practice this. Now, usually around the edges of the face, I go really dark right here because that helps my face shape stand out a little bit more. See how it made it kind of more bold in there?
Yeah.
So before we got about 5. So before we go out, just remember again with the hair, if I just drew a simple piece of hair, forget about the guy, just draw his hair. Okay. Remember, what do we want when something curves? Naturally, when something is curved, you see a light on it. You see that light line that goes right across there. No matter where I move,
Yeah.
that line stays there, right? See that little that white line going like that? That's what we're
I do.
doing
Yes. Yes.
on the
Yes.
shape. So if we're looking at the hair like actually like this, right? Look, this is the break zone, right?
Yeah.
And we know that all of the energy of the up is going like this. All of our lines are curving. Okay. So if a person has hair that's curving, watch. Here we go. It doesn't, you don't have to be perfect, just make the line, right? So
Yeah.
we got all of it, right? Then we go here. Okay. So watch. See what it looks like now. Watch.
Yeah.
You see how it looks like the hair, if you look at it like this, it looks like a girl has hair coming over her face.
Yeah.
That little, you know how they have the hair doing like this over the face?
Yes, I do.
All right, so it's the same thing. Just establish the light source again and color toward it. Okay, so that's all we're doing. All right, so Mick, that's all I got for you for today. Hey guys, I hope that you enjoyed that video tutorial. If you did, don't hesitate guys to go ahead and give us a like. Also guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and the notifications button. This way, when we put up new material, you'll be the first to know. If you have any questions about our markers or pens or paper, and you'd like to know where I get some of the materials that I use here on my art stream, there's a link in the description below, so you can go ahead and check that out as well. And also guys, we'd like to welcome your questions and comments so that we can get some new ideas. You know, it's always good to have new, fresh ideas for our next and upcoming videos. Oh, and don't forget to check out these 2 super cool videos right here. So guys, thanks again for your love and support of our channel. You guys be safe out there. And as always, guys, I wish you happy cartooning.